Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at a new car that is, well, punching far above its weight class. It's the Fiat Grande Panda Electric.
It really is. It's not often you see a budget car generate this much buzz and, frankly, this much silverware before it's even widely available.
That's our mission today then. To cut through all that noise, the technical reviews, the media praise, the big award wins, and really figure out why this little hatchback is making such a huge splash.
It seems to have found that sweet spot, you know? It's not just about being cheap. It blends genuine affordability with, well, a real personality.
Exactly. It has that Italian style, that character. It feels less like something designed on a spreadsheet and more like a return to fun, functional cars. Okay, let's unpack this. So for anyone just catching up, let's start with the basics. What exactly is the Grande Panda?
Fundamentally, it's Fiat's new entry into that really crucial compact EV segment. It's a small, battery-powered hatchback, and it's set to replace the old petrol Panda lineup.
And when can people get their hands on one?
The launch is slated for spring 2025 in Europe, and the key number here, the one everyone is talking about, is the starting price.
Go on.
It's expected to be around $20,975 on road for the entry-level electric model.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
that's a very palatable price point, especially with how EV costs have been going.
Yeah.
But the media reaction seems to be about more than just the price. It's about the feel of it.
Precisely. The reviews aren't just positive, they're genuinely delighted. The consensus is that Fiat has played a blinder.
I saw that phrase a lot.
They've delivered a car that's packed full of character and shows that small, affordable cars can still have style. They really praised its ability to just, make you smile.
And I have to say, after reading through all of these sources, I am completely captivated. Reviewers keep using words like fun and friendly, and I just love that one quote. It makes me smile.
It has charm by the bucket load.
It really does. It feels like a very deliberate choice from Fiat to focus on that soul, that character, rather than just chasing the biggest numbers on a spec sheet. And it's clearly working.
And that character, that resonance, comes directly from its design heritage. It's a masterful callback to the spirit of the original 1980s Panda.
It's so wonderfully boxy. You just don't see that shape anymore.
Right. It uses these bold, clean, almost cubist proportions. It just stands out in a sea of generic bubble-shaped cars, and it's full of these little retro details.
Like the headlights.
The pixel-style LED headlights, yes, and the chunky, cube-shaped rear lights. And maybe the most distinctive feature is that huge three-dimensional Panda lettering stamped right into the doors.
Okay, so we've covered the character. But let's get into the numbers. Here's where it gets really interesting. How does it stack up on efficiency, running costs, that sort of thing?
So we have the overall new car expert rating, which gives it a very solid 72%, which is an A grade.
Okay.
But the breakdown is where you see Fiat's strategy. The eco rating is a perfect 100%, an A. And the running cost score is also an A at 87%.
Right, so it's cheap to run.
Extremely.
Yeah.
But the media rating, which is more about the subjective driving experience, is a 76%, so a B.
Hold on, let me just push back on that for a second. If the running costs are an A, how does that square with the data we saw on its electrical efficiency?
Ah, good question.
The figure was 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour, which the sources said is actually below average for a car this size. So where are the savings coming from?
That's the clever balancing act. You're right, 3.7 millikilowatt arch means you might be charging it a tiny bit more often than the absolute most efficient rivals. But the real-world savings for the owner come from two other places. First, maintenance is expected to be very low. Simple mechanics, shared parts within the wider company.
And a second.
Insurance. This is the big one. It's projected to be in insurance group 23. The average UK car is much higher, so your premium should be significantly cheaper.
I see. So it's cheap to run because of low servicing and insurance costs, not because it sips electricity. That's a key insight.
It is, and that brings us to the core trade-offs. The highlights are obvious. That unique exterior, a really clever and practical interior, and a comfortable, relaxed drive.
And the lowlights.
Yeah.
The compromises they had to make.
Well, that boxy shape we love. It means the back is pretty cramped for adults. And while it's great around town, it's not really built for long motorway journeys.
And performance.
Rivals will give you more performance and, crucially, more range. It's a fantastic city car, a great runaround, but you are sacrificing some speed and that ultimate range capability.
And yet, despite those compromises, the industry seems to have decided this car is something special. It won the CarWow Car of the Year for 2025.
And then it landed a really major one, the Auto Europa 2026 award.
That's the big Italian one, right? The UIGA prize?
The Italian Union of Automotive Journalists, yes. They announced it in November 2025, and they specifically praised its Italian style, its innovation, and its accessibility. That award puts it front and center.
And the voting process for that one is more complex than most, isn't it? That's what gives it so much weight.
Absolutely. The key thing for you to understand is that it's a combined vote. You have the UIGA journalists, then a jury of 160 industry opinion leaders, think dealers, suppliers, that level, and an online public vote. So the winner has to appeal to critics, the industry, and the people.
And who is it up against? It couldn't have been an easy field.
No, the field was fierce. It beat 7 other finalists. We're talking premium brands like the Audi Q3 and BMW X3 Plus, major rivals like the Jeep Compass, Mercedes CLA, and the new Renault 4 E-Tech.
For a car under 21,000 pounds to win against that lineup is, well, it's a huge statement.
It is, but what's also fascinating is how the vote was split. It shows you the different priorities in the market right now.
How so?
The Grande Panda won the overall combined title, but the opinion leaders, the industry insiders, they separately chose the Mercedes CLA.
So they valued the high-end tech and design.
Exactly. But the popular jury, the public vote, they went for the Jeep Compass. They wanted that accessible, rugged utility.
So Fiat's victory, its 9th time winning this award, shows that when you average everything out, the combination of value, style, accessibility won the day.
Right, and that fits perfectly with Fiat's mission for the car. They talk about offering freedom of choice. That's why it will be available as petrol, hybrid, and electric.
So what does this all mean? Let's get to the big picture.
Well, beyond the awards, the success of this car actually creates a really interesting internal challenge for Fiat.
How so?
The Grande Panda is so good and so affordable that some reviewers pointed out it might be a problem for Fiat's other small EV, the 600e.
You mean it could steal sales from its own sibling?
Potentially. A customer might look at the Grande Panda, see the characters, see that it does everything they need for city life, and ask, why would I spend thousands more on the 600e?
That makes sense.
The car is this powerful example of a vehicle being cheap and cheerful without being nasty or compromised. It proves that people respond to personality. And that leads to a much bigger, more provocative question for the whole EV market.
Okay, what's the thought?
For years, the market has been obsessed with one thing: range. Who can go the furthest on a single charge?
The spec war.
Exactly. But the success of the Grande Panda makes you question that. Does true value in the EV world now lie in maximizing character and accessibility over maximizing pure range?
A fascinating point.
It suggests that maybe the real path to getting everyone into an EV isn't adding another 50 miles of range to a car most people can't afford, but instead it's building a car with an affordable price, low running costs, and a design that just makes you smile.
So, the most important metric might not be miles per charge, but smiles per mile. A great thought to leave us with. That wraps up our deep dive into the Fiat Grande Panda. Thank you for joining us as we unpacked all the acclaim this little car has earned. I always appreciate you listening. You can also support me by buying me a coffee through the link in the description. Your support means a lot to me. Thank you for your kindness.